Hello from Orkney, I'm Rosslyn, and welcome to my first full playthrough of the vintage version of Your Very Own Robot by R A Montgomery. I have previously done 3 playthroughs of this book, in which I did lots of very interesting things with a misbehaving robot. I decided to get the vintage version because the other one has fully revised text, and this one has different stories a little bit, I think. I'm not sure how much, but I wanted to have a look and see. As well, it has these wonderful vintage illustrations. I'm a big fan of these, as opposed to the more sort of, I don't know, I think less nuanced, more modern 90s and early millennial type artwork that you often see in the revised versions of these books. This is a Bantam-Skylark book, Choose Your Own Adventure number 4 in their series. It's illustrated by Paul Granger. Of course, it's by R A Montgomery. This one was written in 1982. There we go. Brilliant. So, I'm going to potentially risk my dignity now. This is my first time playing this, and everything on this channel is done in one take, so you're getting all the real reactions here. In fact, I'll have a little drink of my juice first, and then we will begin. We start with me rummaging in the bin, finding robot parts. It says, everybody wants a robot, but only a few people get to have one. That's because robots are hard to make, and they also cost a lot of money. But you're one of the lucky ones who gets to own a robot. Here's how it happens. Your mom and dad are scientists. They work with robots every day. Sometimes they even build them. One day they build a robot that seems to do everything wrong. I've tried to fix it, and I can't, your father says, so he tosses the robot into the garbage can. Poor robot, you say. Oh, I'm meant to be American, am I? Well, my dad's going to be Scottish. Maybe me and my mum will be American then. Poor robot, you say. Mom and Dad gave up on you too fast. I think I can fix you up. Oh, I've seen them build loads of robots. Oh, you get the best American accent on this channel too. I'm gonna try really hard. Right. You get out some nails and a hammer, and you gather nuts and bolts and some wire. Bang, twist, you work on your robot all day long. Soon it starts to look much better. You look so good, I'm gonna give you a name, you tell it. So you name your robot. Haha, and this is the first difference. I get to name my robot. Before, I believe... Oh, it doesn't say on the back. I'm pretty sure your robot's called Gus in the remake. However, you get to name it. The previous kid, or maybe it was an adult, no judgment, has named their robot Frankie. I don't want my robot called Frankie. I am calling my robot Rumpelstiltskin. Why not? There's still more work to do, you tell your robot. You could use a few coats of paint, but I'd really like to turn you on now and see what you can do. Your robot should work just as well without paint, shouldn't he? Here's me hard at work. at my workbench. It started similar to the other one, but we get these lovely illustrations. Isn't that brilliant? Look at all of the swag, all of the robot items kicking about my workbench there. That's just terrific. So do I want to turn my robot on right away? Juvenile smirk. Or do I paint him first? Well, we are classy around these parts, so we're going to try and paint him first. You decide to paint your robot first. So you spray him with bright silver paint until he shines. Now you are ready to turn him on. Click! Glee beep is the first thing he says. I am so glad to be on. Put me to work and see what I can do. I sure will, you tell him. First, I could use a little more paint on my back. He says, okay, you say. You spray a lot more paint on him. Meep, it tickles, yells your robot. He laughs so hard that he falls down and rolls around in the mud. Well, I hope the paint dried first, or that was a whole waste of time. Jeez Louise. Oh, well, that's my character says. Oh, did I show you her too? Sorry, I didn't realise this was a two-part set. There she is, looking dismayed. Oh no, you groan. Now I have to clean you up. Nope, neep, says your robot. I can work just as well if I am dirty. Maybe he can, but he looks terrible. Do I want to wash my robot or just let him stay muddy? You know what? The wee tink has got himself filthy. This is going to be it all day long. If I clean him now, he's going to think he can get away with this shite. So, no, he can just walk about covered in crap. That's what he gets, right. You let your robot stay muddy. And you take him for a walk in the neighbourhood. Soon a crowd gathers around him. A junk truck drives by. Say, shouts the junk man, there's a nice piece of scrap metal. And he grabs your robot and tosses him into his truck. I feel like this guy's taking liberties here. Just because my robot is a little low maintenance doesn't mean he can just steal him and throw him into his junk truck. What? Yeah, my character agrees. Stop, you call. But the junk man starts to drive off. Luckily, somebody has called the TV station about your robot, and a TV truck is coming down the street. Should you ask the TV truck to follow the junk truck, or should you leap into the junk truck right now and rescue your robot by yourself? Alright, let's dive in. I'm going to be the hero this time. Let's do this. What's the worst that can happen? I must save my robot, you yell as you leap into the junk truck. That makes the junk man very, very angry. Now both of you are in serious trouble, he warns. When he gets to the junkyard, the junk man heads for a huge steam shovel. I'm gonna mash you and your robot to bits, he screams. This guy seems unhinged. Get us out of this mess, you tell your robot, pressing his problem-solving button. Bleep moop, he says. Your robot races the junk man to the steam shovel and gets there first. He scoops up the junk man and drops him onto a huge pile of garbage. That's what you get for stealing my robot, you call to the junk man as you head home. What's for dinner tonight? You ask your father when you get home. Leftovers, he says. I'll skip it, you say, and you eat potato chips instead. And there's us scooping this mean junk man up. That's what he gets. Right, well, that's the end of that. That concludes my first full playthrough of the vintage version of your very own robot by R A Montgomery, illustrated beautifully by Paul Granger. How fun was that? Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. I hope you have had as much fun as I have. I'm going to say toodaloo the new. I hope to see you in another playthrough. Bye.